Hello, we are from Group 5 presenting the Jicama Centurion Berhad, and now we are going to present a summary on our case study of HACCP plan. My name is Olga Valentin Sebastian, and my metric number is 195907.
My name is Hadis Nabila binti Muhammad Ismizar and my metric number is 198329.
My name is Nur Zafira binti Zulkifli. My metric number 196386.
And I'm Nur Hanis binti Muhammad Saleh, and my metric number is 199623. So without wasting time, let's start our presentation with Olga.
So, without further ado, let us continue to the first part of the presentation, which is the company profile. So first thing first, let us talk about our company background. Jicama is an expert at selling fresh cut jicama since it first started out in the year of 2010. The idea was first brought by Dato Rizal Abdul Hashim, who was inspired by his father, who sold fresh cut jicama too at a small stall to support his family. His father's sincerity had touched his heart, so he decided to continue his father's legacy. However, he is a man with vision, thus bringing his bigger dreams into reality. The factory operates 5 days per week, except on the weekends, with the production ranging between 250 to 300 per week. The products will later on be distributed to 5 giant stores around Selangor. And here are our mission, vision, and achievements. Our mission is to supply fresh cut jicama of good quality at an international grades level with the priority of good hygiene practice and halal procedures. And our vision is to be the main supplier of fresh cut jicama, not only in Malaysia, but also around Asia. And here are our list of achievements throughout the years. In 2013, we have received the Certificate of Good Manufacturing Practice, or known as GMP. And GMP is really important as it is the universal steps or procedures that control the operational conditions within a food establishment, thereby creating conditions that are favorable for the production of safe food product. And it is very important in protecting the company, the consumer, and the environment from harm. And in the subsequent years, we have awarded with the Golden Bull Award in 2014 for emerging SMEs. And in 2015, we have received the Industry Excellence Award. And 3 years later on, we have received the Halal Industry Development Corporation, or known as HDC Awards. And in 2019, we are awarded with the Star Outstanding Business Awards, or known as SOBA. And here are our organization chart. Let me zoom it for you. So as you can see, our organization charts starts with Board of Directors, followed with Director and Chief Manager. And under this Chief Manager, we have 5 different parts, which is the Plant Manager, Quality Safety Manager, Finance, Purchasing Manager, and Human and Resources. And under Plant Manager, we have Department of Cleaning, Department of Storing, Process, and Engineer. And under Finance, we have Department of Accounting. And under Human and Resources, we have R&D, HR Management, Assistance, and Worker in Factory. And below is the factory layout of our factory. And let me show you the flow for our production. So, beginning with receiving raw material over here, only the raw material that meets the standard and quality will then be transported into the cold room for pre-cooling. And after pre-cooling in cold room, jicama will then be transferred into the pre-washing area, which consists of scrubbing, peeling, and cutting. And after that, it will then proceed into the washing area, and then will be stored in the cold room. After being stored in the cold room, it will then undergo dipping process with lemon juice in the dipping area. And after dipping, it will then undergo drying process in the drying area. And after drying, it will then be stored in the refrigerated room. And after stored in the refrigerated room, it will then be packed in the packaging area. And the packed jicama will then be stored in the cold room before delivery. Why? This is to ensure that there are no microbial growth before delivery. So here is our distribution. So as you can see, there are no zigzags in our factory layout, so the risk of cross-contamination to occur is reduced. Continue on to the next part, which is the HACCP team and profile. So, under HACCP team and profile, we have 4 people, which is Nurhanis binti Muhammad Saleh as the chief manager, and she will make sure that standards of hygiene complies with health and safety regulations. And after that, we have Hanis Nabila binti Muhammad Nizmizar as the purchasing manager, and she will plan the HACCP and ensure it is carried out. And after that, we have me, Olga Veneta Sebastian, as the plant manager. And I will inspect all the HACCP systems at each plant by supervising the overall management. And last one, we have Nur Zafira binti Zulkifli as the quality safety manager. And she will ensure the product services meets its quality and documentation for HACCP. And last one for my part is HACCP scope. There are 4 components. The first component is materials being processed. And for our factory, our materials being processed is the raw jicama, which will then be the fresh cut jicama in the end product. And here are our list of key process operations, which starts with the receiving, followed by pre-cooling in cold room, washing, peeling, cutting, dipping in lemon juice, drying, and ends with packaging. And there are 2 types of hazard in our production, which is biological and physical. So that is all for my part. I will pass to Nur Zafira Zulkifli for the next part. Thank you.
Okay, in this slide, I will talk about the policy of food safety and the objective of food safety. The first policy is provide high quality product that meets food safety standard. The end product meets customer requirement. Adequate food safety training to all parties, which is staff, food handlers, and supplier. Personal hygiene to all parties, which is staff, food handler, supplier, and visitor. Improve competency in all parties, which is staff, food handler, and supplier. Conduct inspection by IOS, International Standard Organization. And lastly, control pests in premise. The objective is quick response and reduce the customer complaint, prevent hazard on the contact food, food safety induction training for the new employer, production comply with all laws, maintain minimum G rating. To maintain minimum G rating, maintain 85% internal GMP audit and no food recall. Next, we talk about the product description. Product name is fresh cut jicama. The energy is 38 kilocal. Carbohydrate is 8.82 gram. Protein is 0.72 gram. Fat is 0.19 gram. Cholesterol is 0 milligram. Dietary fiber 0.99 gram. Food at regulation. The first one is the product should consist of fresh and quality of matured jicama. The product should contain 500 gram of jicama at 8 to 15 Celsius. The storage condition is vacuum packed. The distribution, cold room when open. Packaging, refrigerate truck at 0 to 5 Celsius under 5 kPa O2 and 5 kPa CO2. Now we move to the flow chart. The first one is we receive the raw jicama from the supplier. Then the quality control, we check the raw jicama. And then next we pre-cooling in the cold storage for 1 night. The next day we scrubbing the raw jicama to remove the foreign material like sand. After we scrubbing, we peeling the raw jicama, then we cut it. After we cut, we wash the fresh cut jicama with the potable water. Then we store in the cool room for 1 night. The next day, we dip the fresh cut jicama in the lime juice for 1 hour. After 1 hour, we dry the fresh cut jicama in hydrator in 30 minutes. Then we store at the refrigerated storage in 1 night. The next day, we do the packaging. Then we store in the cold storage for 1 night. The next day, we deliver into 5 supermarkets. That's all for me. I will pass to Hanis Nabila.
Thank you, Zafira, for the wonderful presentation earlier. I'm Hanis Nabila, and now I shall take over the slides. Alright, let's take a look at the next part, which is a hazard analysis on page 7 and HACCP plan on page 8. For this part, since we are lacking of time, we decided to focus on only one step, which is on the delivery process. In hazard analysis, we are required to refer to the risk analysis table, which is not included in the flipbook, in order to determine whether a particular process that is considered as a hazard or not. But before we proceed, allow me to first zoom in for a clear picture, so do bear me some time. Alright, now we're going to proceed. For the delivery process step on biological hazard, as can be denoted by the letter B here, the risk is an H, in which it is of high risk. The pathogens involved are E. coli and L. monocytogenes, sources from the microbes that grow on the products. The hazard can cause severe illness, therefore we need to ensure that the products are stored in good condition to suppress the microbial growth. Next, there is no chemical hazard found on the products during delivery, so no preventive step is taken. And lastly, for physical hazard, it could possibly happen that the packaging are damaged during the delivery as the boxes get moved around while in the truck. However, it is no significant and of low risk hazard. Therefore, the boxes should be arranged neatly in the truck besides using a shock resistance boxes. Alright, now moving on to the next page is the HACCP plan. It comprises of the 6 principles starting from principle 2 to principle 7 of HACCP plan. We can see here that the delivery process that has 2 CCPs, in which are CCP 7B of biological hazard and CCP 1P of physical hazard. First, we will take a look at CCP 7B, in which the significant hazard is E. coli and L. monocytogenes. It has a critical limit of increasing as much as 1 log10 CFU per cube by day 7, and given at the same duration, it can increase up to 3 log10 CFU per cube at an increasing temperature of 10 degrees Celsius. Therefore, the reasons why it is stored at lower temperature. The pathogens might not get eliminated, but its activities does get slowed down at a lower temperature. Then, the monitoring activity will be done by checking through the transportation, which is done by the quality control person every time before the delivery is done. The temperature and cleanliness inside the truck will be checked through thoroughly to ensure it is always at its best condition. For the corrective action, first, always recheck the condition inside the truck. Second, identify the box that need to be isolated. Third, identify the causes of the problem and isolate the product. And lastly, the CCP will again be under control. In case not to get confused, the corrective action meant here is the procedure done when the monitoring result shows that a critical point deviates from the CCP's critical limits. Okay, moving on to the next column is the verification procedures. This step is crucial in ensuring that the CCP is done periodically and correctly. Temperature is recorded from the thermometer inside the truck, and cleaning steps is done according to the SOP provided by the company using antibacterial agent. On the very last column is the records kept for this particular CCP. In which there are 2 records in total, namely temperature log and record of the cleaning process. Okay, now moving on to the next CCP is CCP1P, where damaged packaging is the physical hazard brought up here. The critical limits mentioned here is the specifications of corrugated box used, in which a single wall box has been chosen according to the needs of the product spec. It has an ECT of 29C, where ECT is the age crush test, capacity of 50 pounds per box, and a compressive force of 29 pounds per inch. Then, the monitoring activity action is done on the boxes containing the packaged jicamas, in which the boxes are monitored when being transferred into the truck by batch as to not miss any rejected packaging. This job is held responsible by the storekeeper and also the assistant driver. Alright, the next column is the corrective action taken in case the monitoring result deviates from the critical limit, as can be observed in this particular column. Moving on to the next column is the verification steps taken to do a checking on the packaging before products are sent out for delivery, and also to do another checking after the products has reached out to the store where the products are delivered at. And lastly, in the very last column tells us the records kept for this step and for this particular CCP. The only record kept is the record on the packaging condition before and after products are out for delivery. And with that, that's the end of the presentation for my part, and I shall pass this on to the next presenter. With that, thank you.
Thank you, Hanis Nabila, for the wonderful presentation. Hello, I'm Hanis, and I'm going to present the last part of this presentation, which will cover the GMP summary, list of documentation, and conclusion. So let's go to the GMP summary. So in the GMP summary, there are 10 elements. The first one is design, infrastructure, and facility. So the location is our company located in an open area far from housing area and at isolated place. Layout, our company have clean and unclean area that are separated to avoid cross-contamination. Isolate and working space means that there is enough gap between machine and working space. The structure is internal wall and floor in our company is made with smooth, flat and light color. And for the door, we use the latest technology, which is food kit sensor. And the last one is facility. We have fire sprinkler, water supply, drainage and waste disposal, personal hygiene, temperature control, storage, lighting, and air ventilation. So the second element is process and operation control. Our company use of certain equipment for the purpose of monitoring and measuring. Means that process steps such as pre-cooling and storing that involve the control of temperature was managed by using temperature monitoring system. And to monitor pH, we have pH tester meter. And the second part is documentation for control operation, which we have temperature log to keep the reading of recorded temperature, and the second one is we have pH log to keep the reading for recorded pH. And the third element is maintenance and cleaning. We have maintenance program. Under maintenance program, we have calibration for certain machinery was done by the technician twice a year to ensure that it is able to function at its best condition. And we have understanding terms related to cleaning, means that we use antibacterial disinfectant by the cleaning department after every process session, and for the refrigerated tub, it is sanitized before delivering to the supermarket. And for the element 4, which is waste management, first we have published collected from clean area to dirty area. Then the garbage bin are located far from raw material or food product to avoid cross-contamination. The third one is garbage bin are closed property all the time and follow on. So next we will go to the fifth element, which is the personal hygiene. We have health status, personal cleanliness, personal behavior, and visitor behavior. All these personal hygiene, we have our company provide ourselves SOP and SOP to follow so that the workers and the visitor apply good hygiene system. The sixth element is receiving, storing, and distribution. For transportation and distribution, the temperature and humidity can be effectively maintained to protect food from harmful environment or contamination. The seventh element is water, means that in our company, we use only treatment water during the operation process. The eighth element is identification, traceability, and product recall. For identification, product label include all relevant information of the product. For traceability, we use technology barcode. And for product recall, the procedure for product recall is easy and smooth. For training, we have 2 programs, which is early training program that involve new worker, especially for processing area part. It's about 3 months for the program and could be extended. And for the second program is refresh training program, instead is for the old worker to recall back their knowledge and skill and will be conducted about 3 days or it will be like a seminar. And the last part is internal inspection, which is activities of audit. It's a conduct by GMP audit team, develop GMP audit plan and executive audit. So we go to list of documentation. As you guys see, we in our company we have 3 different log form. The first one is daily temperature log form for a refrigerator room storage area. The second one is daily temperature log form for cool room storage area. And the third one is monthly fresh cut Jicama pH log form. So this form is important for as a recorded. We also have a calibration certificate of the Jicama Sdn Bhd. So this apply to the mission. And the question is why it is necessary to keep documentation, because it is important to record keeping. The second one is keeping track of progress, and third one is fast and effective training and ease of access. So it is a step so that if any incident like food recall, so that we can track the progress of our product. So we come to the end of our presentation, which is conclusion. So in conclusion, HACCP system is one of the biggest achievement in food industry. Means that if our company was to acquire the HACCP certificate, we will give a lot of benefit to our company. So we list some benefit we will get if our company get the HACCP certificate. So the first one is we are able to export our product worldwide, means that we can achieve our mission and vision that we stated earlier. The second one is we can expand our business and build our empire. The third one, to produce a trusted product by consumers. And the last one is make a strong bond between the management, the employees, and in the organization, and further monitoring for all kind of process. So before I end the presentation, I would like to introduce you guys our presentation. We use a flipbook, means that you guys can see this QR code. You guys can scan and you will go to the website. That we go to the website and you can see the front page like this. So I hope you guys can find it's a interesting way of presentation. So that's all from our group. I hope you guys could get some new information and have a nice day.